If you thought everyone would just swarm TSMC this year to work on silicon wafers to produce chips for their CPUs, GPUs, and all of the other electronics that they're making, then think again, because NVIDIA is being a little bit smarter in here and they decided to work with Samsung yet again, or at least this is what their latest reports indicate. And this means that we might see some RTX 30 series Super or RTX 30 series Ti, because I have no clue what they're going to call them. Heck, they might be doing the Ti and Super at the same time, or at least that's what I've heard, and this also goes on for the RTX 40 series of graphics cards. The whole situation is really convoluted, I would say, but don't worry, we're going to be talking about those in some future videos if you guys have any questions. But the important point here is that Samsung and NVIDIA are going to be working again, and this means that availability for NVIDIA's RTX 30 series GPUs is going to be a whole lot better than AMD, or at least I hope so, because otherwise this would be just wishful thinking and this video wouldn't make any sense. But before we're going to be talking about that, I would like to tell you hi if you're a new viewer, and if you would like to keep yourself up to date with the latest news in tech and gaming, then this is definitely the channel to be, because I also talk about the latest laptops that are going to come out. I also made a dedicated video talking about working at TSMC and the whole price hikes that they're planning at the moment, so you can definitely find some interesting videos around here, so make sure you get subscribed. But now back to the whole NVIDIA Samsung situation. It's important to note that, again, NVIDIA reportedly decided to work with Samsung again instead of TSMC, and I'm honestly glad they made this choice, since TSMC is currently flooded with requests from all major companies, including Apple, AMD, Sony, Microsoft, and like I was saying, dedicated a whole video talking about their 3 to 20% price hikes. Looking at the current situation, I also doubt that NVIDIA would be willing to lose any money, and after all, making chips right now is pretty much like printing money, because all of those graphics cards, you know, that they're going to release are going to sell like hotcakes instantly in a matter of seconds, if not a matter of minutes, definitely not in a matter of hours, because we've seen that with the RTX 3090, 3080, all of the graphics cards down to the 3060 Ti, and we're most probably going to see the same happening with the 3060 and 3050 Ti, you know, the 3070 Ti, 3080 Ti that we have already covered on this channel. So if you'd like to learn more about them, then definitely check the info cards above. Now, other things to keep in mind is that we're also experiencing an ongoing GDDR6 shortage, aside from a ton of bots and scalpers who are making the shopping experience worse for everyone. But NVIDIA is counting big money, and by that I mean about 90 billion US dollars, give or take, you know, on the speed and efficiency that Samsung has been raving about. Remember that analysts pointed out that Samsung only requires a couple of years to catch up to TSMC, with the others analysts saying that this might take them until 2030. Now, the latest reports that we have found right now indicate that they might only be a couple of years behind TSMC, which is, you know, good news, because we might be getting some better availability for those graphics cards if this is indeed true. Now, you should also note that right now Samsung is also the world's largest memory chip producer, with a share of over 40% in the DRAM market and 33% in the NAND flash sector, and is right behind TSMC in the foundry market. Add to that, they are spending a whopping 8.6 billion US dollars a year on their fabs, technologies, and equipment, and it's no wonder at this point, since those contracts have a significant return on investment, ROI, for them, as much as it is a risky and harsh industry where even the smallest downtime could cost you millions of dollars and could impact the prices of, you know, your RAM or whatever you would like to buy, all of the electronics and, like I was saying, memory and everything that is being produced by working on these silicon wafers. But I won't be going into the whole discussion about producing silicon wafers and working on those things, since I would assume that you can go and watch Dr. Ian Cutress and read the Nantech or other specialized websites for that. But the key aspect to consider here is that Samsung will keep investing, and it will most probably pay off, since they're already working with companies like Qualcomm, who, if you didn't know, have their own fabs as well, and they're also working with TSMC, and by that I mean Qualcomm. They're also working with a lot of other companies, which includes Google, IBM, Cisco, and Baidu. And I personally think that NVIDIA is being particularly smart about this, and by that I mean working with Samsung, because they're also currently spending billions of dollars on their fab in Austin, Texas, where they'll be working on 7 nanometer before shrinking the node further down to 6 or 5. And you need to remember that TSMC is also building a fab in Phoenix, Arizona, which, well, I'm not from the States, but looking at the map, you know, they're not all that far from each other. And Intel also has their fab over there in Arizona. And you would not, well, I would not be surprised to see all of those companies starting to, well, not work together with each other, but more in the sense that they will most certainly start sharing supply chain management, logistics, all of those things, because there's companies who do this, and there's companies who do this very well, and they might mix and match at the moment. So if you're hoping to, you know, get your hands on a new graphics card, then it sure looks that it's most likely you're going to be able to get one from NVIDIA before you get one from AMD, because of course GDDR6 issues, this plagues both NVIDIA and AMD. But if this, you know, is going to work out, it's definitely going to help NVIDIA way more, because they're going to make the graphics cards in the US, which means, you know, it's going, well, I would hope that they're going to start making them in the US as well. I'm not sure about the whole supply chain management and how it works, but it sure seems like availability might become better in the States. And you know, if you're there from the US, then congrats, because in Europe it sure looks like we are yet again getting the short stick over here. But you know, it's still good. I'm still happy to see these things happening. Now, if you are hoping to get an AMD card or processor, your best guess is as good as mine, given that their contracts are with TSMC, and the same goes for consoles. And love it or hate it, NVIDIA might win again, and I hope I'm not disappointing you at the moment with these news that I'm bringing you. As per the GPUs that are going to be produced based on this contract, it's still not sure. Like I was saying, it might be the 30 series super cards, the 30 series Ti, might be the 40 series as well, but rest assured I'm going to be covering all of those things in some future videos as soon as I find more information on those things. And if you were wondering what performance might look like, you know, on those cards, and why they're still working on 8 nanometer instead of going with TSMC, who's on 7 nanometer, which might bring some improvements, there's a ton of videos on YouTube that will explain this. I believe I've even seen some yesterday, and I'm not going to go into the whole discussion because it's really complicated even for someone who is interested in technology like me. But I have hope that this whole deal with Samsung is going to go well with NVIDIA, as much as I dislike what they have done with HardwareUnboxed and all of the things that they're doing in general. But this means that we are going to get, hopefully, more graphics cards, and that's always a good thing, right? Either way, if you guys would like to keep yourself up to date with what is going to happen, do make sure to check out bigger YouTubers, you know, Gamers Nexus, Jay's 2 Cents, Linus, Tech Testers. All of those channels are most probably going to be talking about those graphics cards in the future. And make sure you subscribe to this channel and get back to my videos if you'd like to learn more about them, because I happen to cover leaks and not only do reviews, you know, like the other channels do. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to be working on another one which might take place today as well, but we're going to see about that. Either way, thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.